Hi, my name is Alex DeRosa. I am our lead pastor, and thank you so much for joining us as we discover how do we deepen relationships with our ones to show them Jesus. Today, I'm just going to go through a couple different things that came up to us as we were thinking and planning through this. The first one is this: what is the rhythm between non-Christian and Christian friends? This can be an easy thing to fall into. Sometimes we might go to one extreme or the other, and as people, we kind of tend to do that. We like things to be black and white, like it's either this or it's that. And so there's this tendency to either go full on only hanging out with other Christians or only hanging out with non-Christians. So if we want to remember that, we sometimes can get pulled to being monks or drunks. So we look at Jesus and say, Jesus hung out with people that were prostitutes and people that were drunkards. And so you go and say, well, I could do that. And then that might fill us with only people who don't know Jesus, so much so that we actually get pulled away from our relationship with Jesus. We don't really want to do that. But the other side of the thing is we know that Jesus hung out with the disciples. And so we go, okay, well, I got to hang out with my Christian friends. I got to get to know them more, and so I can grow up to be like Jesus. But if we're only hanging out with people that know Jesus, then we're going to get pulled away from the mission that God has given us to reach the lost. And so what do? Well, we try to find the best rhythm between both of those realities. We invest time with people who know Jesus and who do not know Jesus, and we kind of flow in and out of that. When we are investing time with people who know Jesus, that helps build us up to get us ready for the mission. And then when we're interacting in that mission with people who don't know Jesus, we show them that love of Jesus. Again, we talked about it before in one of our previous videos. We get poured into by God so we can pour out into other people. And so when we do that and we invest time with both, we're gaining this light from Jesus that we can shine to the world. The next thing is sometimes we're already around lost people. So sometimes we're thinking like, how do I get to meet ones? Well, sometimes we're already around ones. We're at work with ones. We're at school with ones. So it's not finding new places to go. It's just being intentional when we go. So when we're in relationship with other people, we're asking the question, do they know Jesus? Can I discover their story a little bit? Can I develop this relationship so I can know, are they lost? Are they a one? Or do they already know Jesus? So just be intentional where you go. The other thing is that sometimes if we look around and we go, I don't really have any ones. I don't have anyone that doesn't know Jesus in my life. We might have to sacrifice what we're doing now, our schedule, or maybe some events that we're doing, or even the people we're hanging out with. Again, maybe we're only hanging out with people who know Jesus. So we have to sacrifice a little of that to find a one, to ask God to reveal that to us. And so we step into some other spaces. And so for me, I've talked about it from the stage. I don't want to belabor the point, but I used to only play board games. I love board games with my friends who know Jesus. And eventually I realized I got to start finding some other friends. So I looked online for different gaming groups, and I started to make friends with people who don't know Jesus so that I can have ones in my life. And so sometimes we'll have to sacrifice things. Honestly, at New Life, that's why we're looking at every event that we have, and we're asking the question, does this help our ones know Jesus, or does it help prepare our 99 to go after their ones? And if the answer is no to both of those, we're really looking at it and saying, is it important that we do this event? Because we want to free you and me up for time to reach our ones. So we can't just be so overwhelmed with events that we aren't able to go and invest our time with one. For instance, if it's a weekend and you're like, man, this is the only day I'm not doing something at the church, is that really the day that we have energy to go and invest with our ones? Probably not. So we want to make sure that we're doing that. We might need to sacrifice, say no to some things so we can say yes to our ones. So next thing is, what if they think I'm only building a relationship with them because they're a project? Maybe you were thinking, well, what if our one finds out our mission, that we want them to know Jesus, and there's nothing wrong with them finding out the mission? I've had people ask me that, like, are you just being nice to me because you want me to know Jesus? And I usually tell them, I love you so much that if I didn't love you, I wouldn't care at all about what you do with your life. But I do love you. I love you so much. I don't want you to go to hell, but I want you to have the best life that you can have. And so that's really the answer is no, you're not a project. I'm caring for you because I love you and because Jesus loves you as well. And so it's not like, oh yeah, we're just checking a box so that we can have ones. We're showing the love of Jesus because we love people and we love Jesus as well. There's no secret in that. And it's okay to find out that you love Jesus and you love them and you want them to know Jesus. The last thing is, if we can help it, let's not go this alone. So bring another friend with you. If you're in a workplace that has another believer with you, maybe think about meeting up once in a while to pray together or to have a Bible study together, and so that you can work alongside them in reaching the lost for Jesus, which is very practical. My family, when we are heading to my dad's house with my brother, my sister, my dad there, they don't yet know Jesus. They're not worshiping him right now. So what we do is when we're driving up to the house, I always pray out loud with the family for God to work, to use us in a mighty way to shine his light. And we're going to continue doing that till they know Jesus, till they come to know him. And so we do that together as a family. So let's work together. We're better together. As always, and every one of these videos, we want to encourage you, if you have questions about anything regarding reaching your one, please put it below so that in week 3 we can answer those questions. But today's feedback question, specifically for developing relationships, is this: how are you going to pursue a relationship with your one this week? Or what are your questions about reaching your one? So again, we always want to take those questions, but specifically, do you have questions about how do you walk into these spaces? Ask that. But how do you think you're going to go and look for opportunities to develop a relationship with your one this week? Put that below. Let's talk it out. Let's learn together so that we can help bring God's kingdom here to earth. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back on Monday with another video.